Welcome to the High Tech Freedom Podcast. This is a podcast where we bring successful tech sales professionals, thought leaders, and entrepreneurs to share best practices, insights, and lessons learned with other tech sales professionals. As a sales professional, the more we learn, the more we earn. Once we earn it, how can we put those hard-earned commission dollars back to work to build additional income streams that will create the freedom we are all working to achieve? I'm your host, Chris Freeman. I'm a high-tech sales leader, real estate investor, and lifetime learner. Welcome back, high-tech freedom listeners. Hope you're having a great week. So today I wanted to spend a few minutes to talk about, are you innovating? As a sales pro, are you innovating in your territory and in your business? Are you thinking outside the box? Oh, guess what? As a sales professional, I'm going to ask you to do one more thing, right? Isn't that just like, full disclosure, I am a sales manager now. And isn't that just like a sales manager who's always tweaking something, always asking for the next priority of the day? And I do feel for you as a sales rep because it truly is a balancing act to address all the manager and the corporate requests, still while doing your demanding sales role. I mean, you need to prospect, you need to have your meetings, you usually have a bunch of follow-up work from the meeting, which tends to be more work. And that was always my least favorite part, but really important. I just love doing the meetings. But why do you think your manager is always coming to you with new ideas? Well, in some cases, they may just be neurotic. Maybe they're micromanaging you. But, give them the benefit of the doubt. In many cases, they're just trying to innovate. They're trying to do things better. They're trying to get ahead of competition. They're trying to get ahead of trends. In some cases, they're trying to get ahead of their own manager. So as a rep, my question to you is, what are you doing to innovate in your business? Why is this important? Look, if you work long enough at any company, you'll see new ways of doing things that'll come from headquarters. But ask yourself this question: where did those ideas start? Most of the time, they started in the field with some rep doing something different, having success, and then the business trying to replicate what that rep did, and kind of make it a corporate mandate, if you will. Now, along the way, right, guess what happened? That rep exceeded their quota. They went to President's Club and they got a fat commission check. So that's why this stuff matters. So what do I mean by innovate? It's not complicated, but it does take a little bit of time to slow down in your business and look at your business. Thinking about, how do you work differently? How are your customers behaving differently? How are they responding to some of your offers? How are you or they communicating? It's every business is different, but it's just thinking about how things are status quo today in anything you do. And is there something that could be done different to go faster, to go different, to do it better? Think about the early pandemic. Some of you quickly pivoted to how you sold and got ahead of it when there was really no direction coming out of most companies and most sales organizations. I want to break in with this quick commercial from me. I am very excited to announce that we have our first multifamily real estate deal for the year. This is a really nice boutique 88-unit complex in Tempe, Arizona, which is an incredibly strong submarket of the Phoenix area. And we are partnered with my friend Reed and his company at the RSN Group. They're the ones that found the deal. And they also have another asset very close by this particular property. Investment spots on this one, they're going to fill up quickly because it is also structured to accept 1031 exchanges. And there's a number of exchanges out there right now looking for a home. So if you're interested, just contact us through hightechfreedom.com, or you could book a call using the link in the show notes. And even if you just want to learn a little bit more about the investing process, let's chat. I'm happy to share and follow up with some educational resources. Now back to the show. Now, I can't sit here and tell you exactly what to do. If I could, it wouldn't be innovative. But what I will suggest and what I would do is set time aside each week. You could do 30 minutes a week, once a week. I personally would do something more like 15 minutes a day, just once a day, and then pull out a clean sheet of paper and just brainstorm ideas. Don't overthink an idea. Don't think if it should or shouldn't be on the paper. Just brainstorm, get them on paper. Now, I think, and this is what I've done, is if something pops up that really excites you, then take that one idea and make that your next brainstorming session. Start to think about different ways to execute that thing, different ways to go do it, and really just focus on that one idea. Then go test it out, right? I mean, it's an iterative process. So don't spend months thinking about the idea and plan it. Just go do it, test it out, try executing part of your idea, but pay really close attention to how it goes. I'll give you an example. I once worked at a large company that was getting really, I was selling to a large company that was getting really frustrated with the renewal process of their maintenance with a competitor. Now, it wasn't really a result of anything that the competitive vendor did poorly. It just had become so incredibly complicated for that customer. They're buying a bunch of stuff all different times of year, different models, serial numbers. It was just a lot of work and a lot of volume. And the risk for them was if they didn't get it done in time, they risked not getting support, and more importantly, not getting software updates, maybe some bug fixes, whatever the case may be. Now, the vendor I was with, we had a little bit of traction with them on one project. So they were a customer, not terribly big. But I started to dig in with the team that was handling the maintenance. And I spent a few meetings with them. And this team was responsible for the budget and the execution and managing of the whole maintenance renewal process. So I sat down with them. I just took a ton of notes on all the issues they were having. I listened and really tried to put myself in their shoes and not, it was so hard because, I just want to go sell something, but I just sort of stepped back and just sort of took it all in. And a few ideas popped up in my mind that I thought would make it significantly easier for them. Now, at the time, and the vendor I work for, we were no different. Our process was the same as the other vendor's process. So I can't disclose all the details on exactly what I did, but I ran down some innovative ideas internally that just flat out didn't exist at the time. And we were ultimately able to go back to that customer with a new process, which was a one-off process at the time, but it was a process outside the box that really, really made it easier for them. It solved their problems. Now, granted, I still had to sell more to make this problem even worth it for them and us. But at the time, as I was doing all of this, we had a deal on the table where they could go with us or they could go with their competitor. And I wouldn't say this is the only reason they went with us, but it definitely impacted kind of the overall relationship, and they went with us. Now, this one-off process, while initially incredibly challenging, ended up morphing into a new program that was more of a consumption-based model. So why do you care as a sales rep? Well, hey, that was a 7-figure deal, and that made my year, made my quota. That's why you innovate. So as we wrap up, if you have your own story of innovating, please drop me a note. I would love to have you come on the show and share some of your experience. So as we close it out, and think about this, instead of working within the box, try working on growing the box. Make your box bigger. Until next week, make this your best week ever.
Thanks again for joining us today. To get more sales and real estate tips, you can subscribe to our newsletter at hightechfreedom.com. You can also join our private Facebook and LinkedIn group that is exclusively for sales professionals. If you found a nugget of good information in the podcast, please subscribe, give us a positive rating, and write a review. If there is a topic that you would like us to cover in the future, please send us a note through our website at hightechfreedom.com. Until next week, make this your best week ever.